in memory of our Aghyaran sisters, Gemma McHugh, Eileen Gallagher, Kathy Gallen, Emma Lynch, and all those before and after. Gone too soon, but never forgotten. In Greek mythology, the Amazons were a race of women warriors. They were famed for their fierce skills in battle, their great courage, and their immense pride. This is for the ones who paved the way, the ones who learned to make a way, and for those who face roads yet unknown.
The Chronicles, the Chronicles, the Chronicles of AghyNarnia. The Chronicles, the Chronicles, the Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
Deep breath. 3, 2, 1.
Hello there, welcome to the Chronicles of AghyNarnia, the podcast that delves into the lives of everyday legends as they tell us their stories, the tales of yesteryears gone by and ones yet to come. I'm your host Andy Dolan, a part-time teacher, part-time Smallville Medical Centre concussion patient, full-time wind-up merchant. I'm here with my fantastic co-host and friend Claire Devine as we both navigate our way to chronicle these amazing stories into becoming myth and legend. What can I say about Claire? She's a diligent pharmacist by day, a talented artist/musician by night, and above all, a mother 24/7. We both grew up in a wonderful little place in the middle of nowhere called Aghyaran, or as I've always called it, AghyNarnia. Whenever I told people where I was from, they would often struggle with how to pronounce Aghyaran. They'd say, "Hey, what?" So after a while, I just found it easier to say I was from AghyNarnia. I would tell them you go about 5 miles out the road from Castlederg until you lose your phone signal. Not long after that, you'll come to a crossroads with an old abandoned wardrobe. Go beyond the wardrobe and turn left. But whatever you do, never turn right. We'll never find you again. So let me tell you about AghyNarnia, our beloved townland way out in the wild west of County Tyrone, nestled in the rolling hills and enchanted woodlands of the north of Ireland. AghyNarnia is more than just a place on the map. It's a community rich in history, culture and stories waiting to be told. Join us as we explore the hidden gems, local legends and everyday lives of the people who call AghyNarnia home. The AghyNarnians. There's something magical in the air around home and there's something special in the water. Then again, we do have a distillery nearby, so maybe that's just butterbeer. In seasons to come, we'll venture further afield to other communities beyond the wardrobe, but never down that road to the right. In terms of socials, you can find us as AghyNarnia. So firstly, Claire, cracky Jan, how are you?
I am fantastic, thank you very much. It has been a while.
It has been a while. You're getting very busy towards the Christmas period.
Yes.
Choir singing is taking over your life.
I'm in 2 choirs at the minute, so very busy. Yeah, but all good.
All good.
Yeah, up and about. And
Hopping about. And you haven't broken your ankle again since.
out of the boot now, so thank God for that.
Never go to Ibiza, eh?
We'll not go there.
Well, who's our fantastic guest tonight?
We have Aoibhinn, McHugh, Niamh Gormley and Sasha Byrne. Very talented footballers.
Aghyaran and Tyrone legends.
You're very welcome to our wee podcast.
It's great giving up your time for us, and after the year that you've all had, I thought it was a fantastic addition to the podcast, and plus a special one that we're trying to do with the club, and I thought nobody better to represent the ladies than yourselves right now. We've got Sasha, Tyrone Aghyaran legend, Aoibhinn, captain of Tyrone, and we've got Niamh Gormley, the captain of Tyrone, captain of Aghyaran. Also, thank you very much. It's an honour and a privilege for us to have you here tonight. So let's kick things off. Can you tell us who your family are and some memories of home and growing up?
Niamh?
Well, I actually didn't live in Aghyaran. I always lived in Castlederg.
Oh no.
So
She turned right.
Used to always, when we lived in the park, like the McHughs lived right beside us, you know, Connor and Ronan. So that's how my brother went to football with them, and then that's how we got to Aghyaran, because we used to just go up the road like to football with them, and like I didn't even go to school in Aghyaran or anything. So.
But you grew up in the vicinity of it, like, and with your mum.
Okay, like my mum's ones are from Aghyaran, like my dad's family would have been from Scrahy and stuff, but they kind of all came down to Castlederg, but maybe way back up the road somehow. I used to always get abused in school. They used to always say play for Aghyaran. It used to always be Aghyaran. They used to call it. I don't know if they called that.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Did you get Aghyaran?
I don't think I did, no.
Just you, Niamh.
Just you, Niamh. And what can you tell us about your family?
It's just me and my brother Connell, and he played for Aghyaran too till he was maybe like under 16. But my mum and dad, none of them played football, so mum played camogie. They did have an Aghyaran camogie team.
That's right, aye.
Years and years ago. She actually played for them too, but my dad's brother, actually Hugo, he died in a car accident, but he played for Aghyaran, like one of those younger teams. He only died when he was maybe 16 or 18 he was. But he played football, but other than that, no, there wasn't much football talent in my house. But so
Your mum could definitely talk for all of Aghyaran,
I
I
could talk if it was She'd be very good at it.
And then what about you, Aoibhinn?
So I did grow up in Aghyaran. My mum is from Clady, but my dad is from Aghyaran, and my two brothers play for Aghyaran. I suppose I started playing because dad was taking maybe the under 10 boys or something, whatever age Joshua was at the time, and I think for ease of babysitting I was sent down as well, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, then started playing. Have probably always had uncles and aunties and stuff coaching down in Aghyaran, and that's actually where I met Sasha. The first night I went to training, I met Sasha, and I remember did you tell me you were Nicky Byrne's daughter? telling my dad I met Nicky Byrne.
A Westlife special, eh?
Like what age? Nicky Byrne's daughter?
Yes, because we didn't go to school, because I was still in Aghyaran, so that's
Yeah.
why I knew Sasha.
Oh wow, he's met that far back then.
You stole my story.
Sorry.
And your mum's Vanessa and your dad's Kieran, obviously, yeah.
There's plenty of McHughes about Aghyaran anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, Sasha?
Yeah, so as Aoibhinn says, my daddy is Nicky Byrne, not Wesley. And then mummy is Ellen. But like Niamh, I lived in Castlederg, went to primary school in Castlederg. Just daddy, I suppose, and with Josh kind of playing for Aghyaran. It was kind of a no-brainer. It was kind of dragged up on the very first night. Didn't really want to go. Was scared. Was nervous. It was only a young girl, and then obviously I met a girl that I'd never heard the name of before. So I came home that night, my cousin that had made a friend. And
Could you pronounce the name then?
no, he asked me, oh, what's her name? I can't remember.
The daughter of Kieran McHugh.
But yeah, daddy took us up, and I suppose that was it, and that's all we kind of knew.
And what's your memories of St. Pat's Primary School?
Yeah, I suppose as Niamh says, there was obviously a bit of rivalry between.
A wee bit of like who do you play for?
Yeah, and then whenever you wore an Aghyaran jersey, you know, you kind of were given dirty looks and things, but like nothing ever really that bad. But yeah, they were a good school too. They were mad about their football, you know, and I suppose it was great. Yeah.
Still encouraged regardless of what team you played for.
Yeah, once we were all messing about, I think they kind of soon realised like, oh, we'll let her slide just because she plays for Aghyaran. No, like all the teachers, all the boys and all the girls were great, like, you know, and then obviously playing with Aoibhinn and all the other girls from Aghyaran too, you were making a wide range of friends, like, you know, which was great.
And do you remember meeting these two then along that path somewhere, Niamh?
When would I
Niamh's
start?
a lot older, so
Exclusive.
Just getting that in there.
But I don't know when I would have first played. You played in the 2013 team.
Because Sasha's older than me as well.
Aoibhinn's the youngest. That's when I would have first played with you. Would have been
Yeah.
2012, 13 probably.
and I was only about 14.
Aye.
14 now.
But you would have still been a lot younger than me in like who I would have been like kind of, it would have been a while lot when I started girls. Would have maybe Clark, Merriman, Louise O'Carlin kind of age. It was kind of only us as girls, you know, when I first started, like under 6 and under 8s.
I actually remember, because you obviously would have played with
Josh,
Josh and
Josh.
Archie, and I remember this wee blonde haired girl running riot, and I just was like, she's amazing. She was showing them all up.
There.
Yeah.
No, that was more my age group that time. There wasn't many girls like when I started, you know.
Wow. So
And
and
your
now
dad took us at that time.
Yeah, I actually think there's a photo in
Aye.
it might be in Oisín's room of
Yeah.
you and the 3 girls in it.
Yeah,
All the
your
boys.
dad took us, so we did.
and how does
That's
that compare
great.
to now with the numbers coming in now for the girls football? How's that?
Oh, like it's so
It's
good.
good.
There's so,
Yeah, they have a lot
do you know,
more
compared
numbers
to
now.
that time, there
Yeah.
was, do you know, there really wasn't. It was just about 2 or 3 of us.
Mm.
And then we had to play with the boys at that time. And then as you got to your bigger age groups, there was more and more girls. Like,
We
you know.
probably had a few more girls in
Aye.
your age group, but we still played.
Yeah.
We played with the boys, but we had our own girls team.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it ever did any harm.
No,
No,
I
it probably stood you really
Yeah.
if you're up against
Aye,
the
I
boys.
did. I didn't mind playing with them, really.
Yeah,
I used to always fall out with them because they'd never pass me
Pass
the
it.
ball. Your dad would have been sick listening to me because I used to say, Kian, you're not passing. No wonder, like.
Build builds resilience.
Oh my god, that's all I used to cry about. But that was good because that was how you got to go to football. Was
Yeah.
if you didn't play with them, you wouldn't have a team.
Yeah.
Do blitzes and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Do you mind
You're
the other
right.
teams then used to complain
Yeah.
about girls playing?
Uh-huh.
You know, if they didn't have any girls, they'd be like, they have girls playing. Don't tackle that girl.
I know.
So Aghyaran was ahead of its time.
Oh, aye, yeah.
I would definitely say so, yeah.
Yeah, in that way.
What about Aoibhinn, your primary school memories?
I think my memories in carols is just like making friends, doing a few shows. I remember like when I think of primary school, that stands out. Mark Connolly taking us to cross country.
Oh, yeah.
Which everybody loves.
Yeah,
You were really good at that, weren't you?
oh, I don't know now. Yeah, it was good I suppose because then I started to go to Fun
Yeah.
Valley and I would never have went, only
Yeah.
like we went with the primary school. But yeah, the shows and things like that. I'm playing the Eamon and Emma. We would have played against
Mhm.
them. That's actually Eamon and Emma Memorial
Yeah.
Cup. We won
Oh,
that
yeah.
the first year, but
Just
maybe
the
we
one.
beat you. I think, yeah.
Comment.
But yeah, we're just getting started and everything.
You brought that up. You're in the same team now.
I know.
Like your dad was like a captain of Aghyaran for so many years, and on podcasts that we've done before, like he was mentioned as like he was the one who was saying like this pitch isn't good enough, we need to do something about this pitch, and they've got the pitch redone in '95, and there was like a lot of leadership qualities passed on not just to you but to all of you, being brought up through the coaching.
Kieran was such a good coach. Yeah, he was a big part of, you know, when you were younger playing football.
Yeah.
Against our blitzes and all.
Yeah, I suppose I don't think Dad was playing. Do you know when I was old enough to remember? Because
Mm.
they won that in the year I was born, 99.
Oh,
When I heard last one, it was the year I was born, so I obviously don't remember. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was always about the club and coaching and stuff,
Yeah.
especially when Oisin was younger. And then he took us.
Yeah,
Took
we
us
took
for-
us and we
to
won the
senior ladies.
championship.
Yeah.
The double. We won the double.
Yeah, so
2017.
yeah, but that's what you need. I suppose that's what you're relying on in clubs, especially small clubs, is people coming out and mums and dads and stuff.
Volunteering. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And people who used to play, like coming back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and passing on whatever they have.
And even now, like it's unreal the amount of children that
That's
are going to training and all
Yeah.
from my two, even
Yeah.
just in the last 8 years. The numbers have just increased and increased.
Yeah.
And then you have all the coaches volunteering their time, and my God, though, they're always doing
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
I know, like on a Wednesday evening when you pull in, like it makes you feel, you'd be so, because you know like the club's in such a good place in that way. Because you'd be so happy to see so many children, and like that's such a good thing for
Yeah.
like for the future. Not every
Absolutely.
club has that.
No, it's true.
You
Like,
know?
yeah.
I think when you get older, like, you know, when you're younger too, you just think your coaches are there, but you never, like, think anything of it. And then when you start working yourself, you're like, and then you're at Aghyaran every night of the
And
week,
you
or something, you're
appreciate
playing, if you take
Yeah.
a team, then you're there all the time, like, you
Yeah.
start to appreciate it a wee bit
Yeah.
more and go, God, this is so
Time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it used to be just like one, like Ali McSorley we talked about, like one
Yeah,
person taking
one
a group of
person.
30.
Yeah.
I know.
To be fair, Gary, Aoibhinn's uncle, was quite a good influence on us as well. Like, and then Jared Hulley, they would have been
Yeah.
two big key figures, especially with us being
Yeah. When you were youth,
when we were young now, you know,
Yeah.
and they were always itching for us to get
Yeah.
playing with the boys, and like they were all for it, like, you know, whereas maybe back then there might have been a few people that weren't maybe happy with the idea of us playing with them, but them two men, you couldn't fault them really, no, definitely not.
And to give up your free time, as we've said, like it's just inspirational because you have a working life, you have a family on top of everything, and you're giving up that time for the greater good of the community.
And then I suppose Caroline and
Yeah,
Omri were,
Caroline.
Oh, yeah,
they were
yeah.
with us.
massive to
They were
us.
probably with us nearly the whole
Yeah.
good bit of the way
That's
through
like
as well.
Caroline Dolan and Anne Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
They were massive as
brilliant,
well.
thank
for
you,
sure.
like.
Taking
Yeah.
us to McDonald's and stuff, do you remember, in the bus? That was like
Taking us
if
up
we
in
had
the
a away
Oma
game.
and
Yeah.
everything
Getting the
after
bus.
school, and
They were
Then
so
if we weren't
good.
playing well, remember Anne-Marie used to be like, you're not going to McDonald's.
So
And then
well.
at half time we'd be like, right.
McDonald's.
we just got up, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you used to do well.
Bribery.
McDonald's.
Works every time.
They were really, really good. Aghyaran Gael were amazing for the ladies. They did so much over the years.
And did you ever get the chance to play on that slope pitch that was down there?
No,
No.
was that the one below the
Yeah.
chapel?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think my early, like it might have just been finishing there. I remember being in it once. I don't really
I remember
much.
playing on it. I didn't.
It was probably like 95 or something when the new pitch came on, like, so they'd kind of moved away from it,
No,
like, but
I definitely remember doing something in that pitch.
I think that's a different story for it.
I was born in 94 then.
After an Aghyaran does scores.
Mixed up.
So
Well-
then you went on then to secondary school, obviously. Where all were you based then for secondary school?
Loretto girls, weren't you?
Yeah, these are all
Loretta.
yeah. The big trek up to Oma every day.
Yeah, at the start, obviously, it was a massive shock, you know, but then you made new friends again. You were still strengthening your friendships with everyone that you'd been playing football with and different things. And I suppose Loretta was quite a big name for football, and that was definitely an influence as to why I went to it and I wanted to go and I wanted to be kind of seen as one of them Loretta footballers, you know. And then the teachers, Mr. Quinn and Siobhan Gormley, they were massive influences as well, you know. And then the likes of Nicola Barber and Miss McHugh as well, they were all heads balls, but they were great, like, you know, they were proper sports people, and we have class memories, you know, playing and representing not just school but representing Aghyaran in big games. We were lucky enough to get to an All-Ireland final. We got absolutely hammered in it, but we got it. Got to a few Ulster finals as well, won them. It was great days as well, for sure.
When we were first year, did Loretta win under 20? Clara?
Yeah,
maybe?
Clara was
Clara
playing.
was playing. We, do you remember, like, it was a Tori McLaughlin and stuff were up with Tyrone, and they were like 7th year maybe, and I remember being like, oh my, like going in and seeing them in school and being like, oh my god. And then we obviously went on to play with Tori, do you know?
Yeah, so it's just they were inspiring you really when you seen them.
Years, because they were flying, like that Loretta team was really good, and they, most of them were probably up with Tyrone and stuff, so we were a bit starstruck, I think.
It probably happens the same with you folks now, like.
Of course.
Oh god.
Oh my god, there's Sasha and Aoibhinn.
And Niamh Gormley.
Don't forget about Niamh Gormley there.
Oh no.
You have led very different career paths. Like Niamh, you're nursing up at Aghyaran Gael.
The cancer centre, yeah, no, I love it there.
Definitely a tough task at times.
It is, but would you be lucky enough to get perspective from life doing that job?
Oh yeah.
And it's nice to be able to help people when they really need it too, and people who really appreciate it. And I love working there. I love all the patients and seeing them and meeting them, and I really do. I'm so happy at work.
It's great, and a lot of people can say that, like, you know, that
I do.
they enjoy their work and
You know, you just want the best for them all, and you know,
Yeah.
your best for them, and they make a wee difference to them. So I love it.
I think anybody going into nursing though has that.
Oh yeah, that pastoral side to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy job.
Here's me as if every day I'm just so happy. Tomorrow morning I'll be like, oh. No, I do enjoy it. I like my work.
Yeah.
I can imagine you being a nurse, like I can imagine you being such a good nurse, do you know?
Yeah.
No, I do. I like work now. I like my job at the minute and my role in that.
Yeah, because you've just moved there, haven't you?
Yeah, I was a district with Claire's mum.
Yeah.
She was my manager for a wee while, but do you know what? I don't miss the district now in this weather. It's one thing, like I don't have to think.
All the driving.
All the driving and
yeah.
the snow and the frost is like such a relief to not have to worry about that. But I loved it too. I loved being out and about in people's houses, and even things like football. It was such a common ground anywhere you go to anyone's house. If they knew you played football, it was such an easy thing to chat to some people about.
Yeah.
Then you got a wee rapport with them because they'd be like, oh, how did Aghyaran do? You'd be like, oh, how did they do? Or,
Yeah.
do you know?
Yeah.
It's an easy thing to chat to people about. Even now, even in the cancer centre, anyone, I think you feel you've a common interest.
Yeah.
It makes a wee bit of a relationship with people, doesn't it?
You probably have like a team of people you're working with now, as opposed to just maybe one or two individuals.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 of us now. Yeah, and even with the girls, like some of them don't know anything about football at all, but a lot of them be interested in their different wee club in Derry and everywhere and hearing all that's going on. So no, it's good.
And even you're a trainee solicitor up in Belfast.
Yeah, I've actually just finished my
Wow.
training contract, so I'm applying for admission to the role to be a solicitor at the minute.
Oh wow.
Congratulations.
Very good. Congratulations.
So I've that admin side of it to do, but I'm just waiting on, you know, like stuff now to come back. Glad to be.
Jumping pay scale as well, I would imagine. You see your eyes light up there.
How many years does it take to do this?
2 years.
2 years after you finish your degree, is
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
so yeah, I did an undergrad at Queen's, and then I did in straight lodges, and then I did a master's in international business law.
Wow.
Then I was working at Baker Mackenzie in Belfast for 2 years as like a legal professional. So you know, when you're not
Yeah.
qualified, with
Yeah.
your law degree, I got the training contract with them. So for the past 2 years, I was off for like 9 months doing the exams, and then I've been doing like qualifying work experience, you know, to
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So now I'm finished. Just in the middle of getting qualified.
And is it true what they say about the amount of hours that you have to do as a lawyer to get there?
Yeah, there is. There's definitely is, like, there's a lot of people in our work that put in a lot of hours, you know, that work like really, really hard. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad.
Is it like suits whenever like they don't go?
Oh my god.
They might work the same hours, but it's not as
Yes,
else.
I loved it.
Ah, it's a brilliant show.
That was a brilliant show.
It's nearly the first thing everyone says. Is it's not.
It's not as glamorous,
Yeah.
is it? Are the outfits as nice as your one?
I respect her.
Harvard,
I can't remember her name.
Jessica.
It was good.
Jessica, yeah.
Jessica, yeah. Mike, yeah. Photographic memory, no?
No, unfortunately. But I did do my lottery.
Just to clear that up.
Yeah. Sasha, where are you based? And
I am a health and safety officer for Gita Construction. Our office is in Dungannon, but we're all over the place, you know. We work a lot with NI Water. We do a lot of social housing, so we've jobs in Monaghan, Cavan, Belfast. We have a job in Oma at the minute. Yeah, we're kind of just
And
everywhere.
when these jobs are in all them different places, are you travelling to them as well?
Yeah, and the
You
girls
do
always
so
slag
much
me,
driving.
like I live in my wee van, you know. I have spare clothes and everything in the back of the van, but I would be driving quite a bit, but you're getting out, you're meeting all these different characters when you're out on site. Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be challenging. Sometimes it can really test your patience, but like it's good crack, and as Niamh says, I do enjoy it as well, so that's the main thing.
So that's working on sites then?
Yeah, so like there's some days I'm up climbing scaffolding, you know, there's days I'm going down excavations, you know,
Yeah.
climbing into diggers and having a nosy around there. Like it just completely depends, like, you know, it could be at anything. We do a lot of work with reservoirs, so you're climbing down 10-15 metre tanks to get a nosy at what
Oh
the
my
men are
goodness.
doing, like right?
I'd imagine there's not too many women doing that job, or is
You'd
there?
be surprised,
Or,
there's probably
yeah.
a lot more women than men that actually do it, and
Right, okay.
yeah, the men, as I say, the men can be quite challenging, but majority of majority of
Just tell them you're Nicky Byrne's daughter.
if only it was that easy. No, but they can be a wee bit challenging at times, but you know, you just have to work with them and you have to try your best, and I
Yeah.
suppose at the end of the day you're only looking out for them, and as Niamh says, couple's a massive thing, you know. There's one site in particular, and to get away from the men it's a real struggle because all they talk about is football, and then it was just even sweeter then because he was the Kildress chairman, so whenever we beat them in the league I was running towards them on site. But no, yeah, good crack.
Hey, fair play to you. Fair play to y'all. So, one of the main reasons for having you here, guys, because of the Aghyaran GA and the success you've had with Aghyaran this year has been just phenomenal. But I want to take it back because one of our previous podcasts we had Anya and Deirdre Dolan, and they remember at the very start with Caroline McHugh or Caroline Dolan, as she was previously, and how they stuck up a piece of paper for people to sign up way back in 1992, and then 1994 the Sasha Ladies eventually formed, and the success they've had since that. So 94 they formed, 2005 they were intermediate championship winners, then it was 2013 double winners with the junior league and championship, 2017 double winners intermediate league and the championship, and then from 2017 fast forward to 2025 is you guys, and what an achievement that championship run was. Just amazing. Now I started going to these games at the start of the championship, and the first two games I was like, how did they get home advantage these first two games? I was like, this is great. So I just walked down to the first game, and then I was chatting to your mum, and I never even thought your mum was going to be there, like, but spent most of the game just talking to her. And what an eye opener. It was fantastic, like, and then every game I went to, you were winning. I was like, is this me? Am I the lucky charm? But it was amazing, and some fantastic games there. And before I get into the games, I thought maybe Niamh, because you've been the captain of this team, like, and can you just tell us about your selected to be captain and what it's like to be captain of Aghyaran Ladies?
I suppose I was so happy when Darryl asked me, and like, so proud to be captain of any of those girls in that team. And I think any of them could have been captain. Like, everyone pulls together, and I suppose at the start of the year when we came together, we probably had a few years where numbers weren't great, and just, you know, we were kind of just existing really at football. But at the start of the year when Darryl came on board, there was, you know, a good drive in everyone, and we had girls back like the likes of Clara, and then we had the girls Rachel, and Emma and Niamh came along, that brought Donal with them, and everything just kind of really got better from there. And even like with Alana back, and just kind of everything came together. And kind of from the start, I think we all knew that we were capable of doing something really special this year and good, and felt like this was our year. Like we had so much talent, and I think everyone was really hungry to do something special this year. You know, no, I was so proud to be their captain. It was a great year.
Oh, definitely. And even like your speech that you gave at the very end was fantastic, and even paid homage to
It was I couldn't face like the crowd because the microphone wouldn't.
It was cutting out.
I had to like face the wall.
That's
So
right.
Like I wasn't looking at anyone, but I couldn't because it wouldn't work. But
And it was coming over the tannoy about somebody's dog was on the pitch. That was your dog, yeah.
But no, it was a great day that day, and the whole year was so enjoyable. Like you're just looking back now, and you just love to be starting that year again. Really,
Yeah.
because it was class.
But you had some nice touches in there with like reference to like Emma Lynch and players that would have been a part of that group at one point. Like,
she would have been buzzing now with all that. She would have been the first person there, and she'd have been at the celebrations, and she would have been so happy. So I'm sure she was looking down happy that day.
oh, definitely. No, it was a great speech. Definitely was. Those games, and I remember when I walked into the first game, and you were stealing at half time, and then your mum's like, no, the second half the second half. That's been, and then as the games went on, I got to understand these second halves just became a bit tight.
We like to give people away friends.
So like the preliminary round, you beat Clino 4-10 to 1-9. Then the quarterfinal against Fintona was 3-13 to 1-8. And then the semi-final, Loch Macquarie, and definitely I'll talk about the second half in this game. Because I can't remember whether it was 4 to 6 points ahead at half time, and they came out earlier than you anyway, and they were waiting baying my blood just for that second half. And it was so difficult because you would get so far and then it would just break down in your attack, and then they were just knocking on point after point. And I think in that second, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, and this is just my memory of it, in the second half you scored once, and that one score was a goal. And Aoibhinn, I don't know how you won the ball somewhere in midfield, but you just stretched the leg, got in front of somebody, picked it up, and eventually it led up the field. And I think, Sasha, you got that goal, and I think it was the only score. And without that score, I thought you wouldn't have got the extra time.
And do you remember the referee being questionable?
Always.
I think it does ring a bell, yeah. But as you say, that second half, it kind of is a bit of a blur, and because it was chaotic. You know, we were very much in control, and then, as you say, they did kind of step up in the second half, and then maybe we did step down. But the grit that everyone showed.
Oh yeah, there was steel there, like steel, yeah.
And when we went to play her down, like the grit and the heads never dropped. Every single one of us girls were not leaving that pitch without winning, and it definitely showed. Like, you know, after when that whistle blew in extra time, the tears, the emotions,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, and everyone's family coming together and celebrating. And there was people maybe that had never been to a game, and they came out to that game, and it was just so nice celebrating, and it was such a relief for sure. And I suppose that definitely reinstilled our belief big time, because we knew that if we beat them, that we were in with a real shout, and the championship was ours. And to give Loch Macquarie credit, they were a great team. You know, they were strong, they were physical, but as Niamh says, them Aghyaran girls, they're a tough bunch. And every single one of them were just.
That was amazing to watch. Like the comeback from you, especially in extra time. It was just you just kept plugging away.
I think that was the second half was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it did feel like we just couldn't score. Do you know, we were doing all the work, but like then you don't
Not
score.
showing
You
the
can't.
results.
That was really frustrating. But I remember thinking at a stage in it, like we're bit
Oh,
here.
I
Do you know, like I
know.
don't think like we're gone here. And I remember being so angry, but I don't know. I think sometimes then when you just keep working, you do make, like, we might have been lucky, but you do make your own luck.
You make your
when
own
you
luck,
keep
absolutely.
when you keep working, you just don't give up. So it was probably a bit of like madness in us as well. I think we just refused to like.
Stubbornness.
Yeah.
Did Maria? Was it Maria going?
Emma
Emma McCoy at the bar.
And then Maria.
That's right, yeah.
Pinged out, and Emma put it in the back of the net, and
Oh,
then
no,
I
Maria kicked and then Emma caught it.
and then in the
Like,
final, sure, it was Emma
Oh, the
kicked,
same
and
thing.
it pinged out to Maria.
That's right.
So yeah, they
I
kind of
remember I gave Maria the ball, I think, and I remember like, God, I just roared at her. I was scared to life for her, but
I know.
That's
Yeah,
just
you do.
pure determination. And
Yeah, because I remember that second half moment. Like you had no right to win that ball, but you did. and it led to that goal. From my memory, it was the only score he's got in that second half, and without that score, he wouldn't have got the extra time.
I mind cramping, and there was like one that was like basically, I mind thinking that's it.
Yeah.
And Donald was like, get up, Niamh.
I remember you were down cramping, and I remember shouting over to you, being like, "Is it your knee?" And you're like, "No, I'm cramping," because Alana was going over to help you, and I was like, "Get on that line, and Alana, forget about her." And you were just down in pain. I was like, "I'm sorry, Niamh, but this is
Getting up
Keep going.
eventually, and like then I was down then. What happened?
Emotions were high.
And then Tara McHugh cried enough tears. She's probably still crying. It was one of the most memorable ones I've ever had.
It was such a good way to go into a
It was
final.
amazing.
Yeah. Oh, the picture of yous at the end, it was pure elation.
Yeah.
We were like, is this the fit? We felt like we were so
Sorry,
happy.
We're probably favourites. Emma Cudress
Yeah.
might have been favourites for the
Yeah.
championship, like,
Yeah.
and we knew what we were up against for Lavin, like, and they were really good. Like
They
they
were
were
so
tough,
good.
you know, like.
Yeah.
And to be fair to them, like straight away after, I think all the Lavin fans and all were like, "Here, well, like,
Yeah,
it was a
they're
good game." You know, everyone was just
yeah.
sort of, because it was probably a good
good
game
match.
as a
Was
championship,
anyone's-
but it was just such a good way, and definitely like things like that bring you closer, because
Yeah.
even though you're roaring at each other and all, like, you know what,
Yeah.
you're all there for the same
Yeah.
thing, and like just like when it does pay off like that, like it just
That's
like
it,
everything.
Feeling.
All
Everything that
them,
they've been saying and training and
Yeah.
everything you've been
Was
doing
worth
all
it.
year, it's just like here.
all them nights out in the rain and in
Yeah.
the cold.
Yeah, Mark Conley sessions.
Yeah.
I know, no, then you do feel
You'd
like
be glad of
that everything was worth
Yeah.
it then.
Yeah.
You know.
So then he's got to the final, beat the Moy 5-5 to 114, and I mean, what a cracking day! First of all, sun was shining.
It was a
Beautiful
scorcher.
It was
Beautiful
warm
day,
day actually.
It was tight as well. It was a real tough
It was
game.
another
Yeah.
tough battle with them.
Like that blonde girl, number 10, was she for?
McHugh.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Like, I mean, she was just kicking from points you never thought anybody would score.
She probably had a
She was.
couple of 2-pointers. Like if they
Oh,
had been
definitely.
in the ladies' rules,
Yeah.
probably had a couple of 2-pointers. Like so.
Thank God they weren't.
Now
Because we
she also missed a penalty in that
Right.
that game, or hit the post, I think.
I hit
Yeah.
the post.
Yeah.
Which I never assumed. I was like, she scored
I
this.
thought as soon as
There
I
was
saw
no
Emma
way.
line up, I was like, right,
Yeah.
that's a goal. You know, you're
That's a
calculating in
goal.
your head with
Yeah.
so much behind. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it then.
Yeah, because if she scored that, it was a draw, was it?
I think
Because
they
you
might
do,
have
like, in
even-
the middle of it, you kind of lose. Because Clara said something to me, like, do you know she
Yeah, it would have brought it level, yeah.
I said, what are you on about? Like, I kind of thought we were a wee bit further ahead.
Yeah.
It's mad, I know the scoreboard's there, but sometimes you're kind of lost that you don't, you know.
You're not keeping track.
That sounds
Yeah,
silly,
you didn't
but
expect her
don't.
to miss at all.
No.
Just the way she was playing that day and the things she was scoring.
She's class.
You just had your lucky charm. So
Yeah.
your lucky charm was there.
Niamh McBride, that
Aye.
was it. Niamh and the-
Michael Murphy.
or Michael Murphy.
Psyched her out.
She was unreal that day too. Niamh did
Yeah,
so much hard work that day for her. She was great.
Sasha, you scored 2 goals, I think, that day, but one was absolute top corner. Like,
Come on, you remember.
well, like I remember, I was like going, "Oh, she just scored a goal. Maybe I should have recorded that." And then I was like, and then you just scored like straight away after the first one. I was like, "I missed it again." So then I did get the one you were talking about where it was saved, came back out.
yeah.
So I did record that.
Fun fact, people in work actually thought that I was behind AghyNarnia. They seen the video because then like,
Right.
me being like, "Oh, Sasha, have you started this page?" And I was like, "No," and then it was only whenever you posted that and then seen all the other clips and stuff that they realised that it was like another you behind it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy, like, to be fair, that they knew the crack, like, you know, like we were very strong in defence, we were
Yeah.
strong all over, like, and they did have their
Yeah.
homework done on us,
Yeah.
you know, and it was tight, and I suppose the cliche is goals win you games, like, you know, and I suppose there's one action shot of about 3 of them absolutely mowing me. And I think that could be one of the goals. You can't see me, you just see my boots, you don't see my face or nothing, but yeah, it was great, it was unreal.
And how do you cope, like, with doing, you know, the physicality of going to games and matches and stuff, and then having to get up and do your work and, you know,
It's hard.
is it a struggle, or are you always like, oh, you know?
No, like I'd say them Sunday evening games this year I found hard because like a lot of them were Sunday evenings, like that Loch McCrory semi-final was a Sunday night and you getting up to work like I did. Now I don't know.
Yeah,
And I'm still
especially
young, like, but I was sore. I was definitely. I found myself very sore this year.
We
Don't know
tend
what
to have a
that
lot
means.
of caffeine.
When
Between
you
us all in
see-
the change rooms,
Yeah.
then you know sometimes if you've a game at 6,
Yeah.
you've had a load of caffeine at 5,
Can't sleep.
and you're that buzzing from
Yeah.
like winning
Yeah.
or something. Then you come home and you can't
Can't
you
sleep
barely
then,
sleep on a Sunday night.
Whatever evening
So you
cakes,
get
I
up to
just copy her because I just
It works for her.
it doesn't always work the same for me sometimes.
What are you talking, like Red Bull or things like that?
No,
Monster.
we can't make a wee
Monster?
That started in
Caffeine
a lot of
chewing
ones
gums are
like
floating
we
around in
monster.
this.
Right.
Anything that
Yeah.
go over.
Yeah.
Oh no, our changing room was full of food. Like Darryl would have like we'd all bring our own wee bits, but then he would like have loads of square bars and really Lucozade, like he would
Everything
have
you could.
everything you
yeah,
want, he
need,
would
yeah.
always have there, you know. So we'd be
Wee
full of
energy
loads of
burst stuff.
Aye, yeah.
And Bronagh McHugh was flat out on and off the pitch this year. I know he just went cramping or.
Yeah, next year. I've got her stuff to come back now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, she was on and off like a yo-yo in that Loch Corey game. God love her.
She
Rubbing
was.
you,
Yeah.
rubbing me.
She came over and was like, "What's wrong now? You keep me on this bit all the time. Trying to keep me busy."
I
That
think
was
that
so
was
nice of
nice.
her.
It was nice to have, you know, like someone that
Yeah.
used to play for the ladies as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like and having Sarah and Brona and
Yeah.
stuff and
Yeah.
the girls, like they had
Thought it
done
was lovely.
they made us, was it a curry
Oh,
on a
aye.
Friday night,
Yeah.
did you know? And then you had Rachel's mummy making
Yeah.
the tea and sandwiches
Yeah.
after every game.
Aw.
Were you in for any of
Yeah.
them? No?
No.
Oh, you
Were
missed
you
out.
missed?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Jeez.
Catherine's tea and
Best.
sandwiches. No, so I think
Yes.
all of them things helped us this year because it was like a wee
collective.
family, you
Just
know.
so supportive.
Yeah.
Ladies as well.
And then
yeah.
we like getting in with all the girls and having tea and curry or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit of crack too, and you
Yeah.
get to chat to people, and it probably
Oh,
brought us
aye.
all like closer.
Oh,
which
we chats and everyone's
Yeah.
birthday we always celebrated and we
Yeah.
always had, you know,
Niamh
we'd-
McBride got a Tyrone cake.
yeah, she
I
loved
remember
that.
So
No, all the things were the fun parts of
Yeah.
it all.
Yes, team bonding.
yeah.
Team bonding, yeah.
You need it then in the pitch because if you're in the middle of a final or something like that, you need to be close.
Close.
You know,
Yeah.
and you need to sort of trust the people around
Yeah.
you. And I think
Yeah.
all them wee things and the parts the likes of Brona played, you know,
Aye.
helped us
Yeah.
so much.
So it definitely showed in the tougher, like when things were tough, like maybe in years before we kind of would have maybe cracked, whereas this year, as Aoibhinn says, like all the wee things just kind of clicked and we all
Yeah.
literally just had that we are not leaving this pitch
Yeah.
without winning.
Yeah.
Attitude, you know, and the bond is just
Yeah.
it is class, like, you know, they are.
Even the likes of like having Brona there and her played, and it was always like nice to have her involved. Then Lucy came back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was like that was so nice to have like just people like from it. You know, it just felt
Yeah.
like it was even an extra.
Like a family, just.
yeah.
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 Because like then we were laughing about the shout outs to Nicola McMahon will come back maybe next year. Like, we're slowly trying to get everyone.
Nicola, if you're listening,
Yeah.
please come back.
She is coming back next year, but no, like Lucy was amazing. Like she was
Yeah.
as good as she'd ever been when she came back. Like it was nothing. She was so good and everything that she played. Like it was so
Yeah.
nice to have her back. So hopefully she'll come back next year too.
Yeah.
So then this year, how are you feeling all going in?
Mine, Aoife got interviewed straight away after the final, and all she kept saying was that we were delighted. Delighted. You know, and then I suppose he did ask her that question too, and maybe she was being a wee bit diplomatic, but like I suppose if the foundation that we've put in for this year, like, you know, the bond, all the girls, if we all buy in the way that we've bought in, like there is no reason why. You
Can't
know,
go to
Division
anything.
1, it's quite an open field, like, you know. Division 2 is definitely, there was about 4 or 5 teams that could have ended up winning that championship, you know. It was very competitive, and so you never know, like we'll give it a good
You give it a good crack anyway.
yeah, we'll see.
You've definitely built a platform in a way to actually give it a good shot.
It's a
Mhm.
great place to be, and it's where you want to be playing football. Like, and it's exciting for us to be going out there. Like, you feel like you've something. It's good to be involved in playing
Yeah.
against all those teams. Like we were there. We're in Division 2 then for how long again? Something we came down many years. 4 or 5, maybe more. I can't remember.
It's always an advantage because a lot of them teams absolutely hate coming to here. So if we can all the games on Thursdays and here,
7 o'clock.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to
We
use
have
that.
that.
Yeah.
'Cause it is quite far, and then
And then
Yeah.
come
yeah.
down and they're like to me and Sasha, like, I
Yeah.
can't believe you've come.
Yeah,
Down to-
travel.
Yeah.
down here because they don't really know.
Because like we're on the western tip of Tyrone and Moy is at the eastern tip.
Yeah.
So if you get them on a Thursday night, like
Oh,
it's tight.
it's
You know,
killer.
either way, we played our
Our
bowling
first
our
game.
first game on a Thursday.
Oh god.
We're all on our way
Even
home
girls
from
getting
work.
there on time is really hard, so then you're not.
Yeah.
We'll definitely
That works
have
to
to.
your advantage.
Well, yeah, we'll hope the fixtures are kind.
Well, what was the story with the bus this year? There was a lot of references to a bus.
The boss.
The Bosch.
On the bush.
And I came from
Louise
It
Carnan.
was nothing to do with me.
Was it not Louise?
No, I think it was one like Alana and all were out drunk, and they said they were like some Snapchat about like you're in the bush or something, and then like they all told us, and we just thought this was so funny about being in the bush, and then it became such a private joke. It sounds so stupid. Because in my speech I was going to be like, I did say bush at the very end, but
you mentioned it. Yeah.
that was my last line, so no one could question it. Awkward line, but it really is a silly private theme joke, really.
I actually did say bus though, because all your references about who would take the keys for the bus and all your little profiles. So I'm glad I'm getting two stories here for a while.
That was some wee questions, wasn't it? Or wee profiles.
Who, if you were to
Who
give the
would
keys?
I think that was just a
And they
random
said
question.
they definitely,
Another
definitely
thing.
wouldn't give them to you. Sasha.
Me and Tara, I think were
Yeah.
Maybe Emma got a few too.
I think we got by alright.
I don't think I got it. I wouldn't probably want them myself, really. Never mind. But no, the bush was another joke.
The bus was another one.
Well, I got to mention the girls will be happy.
Well, probably the culmination of all this then, Sasha, you were awarded the Intermediate Player of the Year for Tyrone as well, which was a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, to be honest. You know, it was class to even be nominated, and then I suppose that was just a nice occasion to get dressed up and then to go with my family. Like, we just kind of went and we're gonna go and have the crack. So then, whenever they actually announced my name, I think my brother nearly dropped to the floor. he was shocked, and then Mummy froze, and then Daddy froze, and then he was shouting at me because I had frozen and I hadn't stood up. But then
Get up.
yeah, one of the girls that I actually work with, she knew one of the Team Talk boys, so she had spoken to him beforehand. Obviously I didn't know this, but she had asked him and he had told her, so she has videoed the whole thing.
Oh,
So you just see 4 statues in this wee circle table in the Great Northern, and then like Mummy pushing me like get up on that stage. But no, it was class, like, you know, and it was nice to be recognised. But as the girls have said, like, without everyone else buying in,
Yeah.
without all the team performances, like, I wouldn't have been there, like, you know, for sure.
Yeah, 9-13 you scored this year, 9-13.
That was me.
Yeah.
I seen it on your AghyNarnia Facebook page.
Oh yeah. No, it was I like my mad was keeping stats and I didn't know that, and then like she's a wide woman for stats. She mightn't know much about football, but she's good with numbers. But she just came to me after the championship and she told me that, and I thought she was lying, but yeah, it was a bit mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Some scoring.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
Goal machine.
I know, yeah, it was great now, but hopefully next year.
Hopefully next year.
Same again.
We'll have to go for more next year.
Well, like the other big success this year then was with the Tyrone Ladies. Aoibhinn and Sasha, and you had a phenomenal year, absolutely amazing. Can you tell us about your memories of being selected for Tyrone and how it all began?
I came on the senior squad in 2017, so I had played underage with Tyrone, and then when I was my last year minor, like a few of the minors came up to the seniors. Sasha was already on the panel because she's a football year older than me. Yeah, just came up. Tyrone Ladies were in the All-Ireland final in 2017 and lost.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that was my memories of coming up again. I was starstruck, to be honest, like, and especially them like getting to the All-Ireland final, you know. So we actually like got a trip at Croke Park in the first year, you know, which was good. We actually had won Ulster with the Tyrone Minors that year, so we had quite a good minor team, and then got beaten in the All-Ireland semi. So like it was a nice introduction, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously like Niamh was playing at the time, like he'd some real big names, and just like looking up to them girls, you know, and like trying to learn off them girls. It was just, it was like class, and you were looking around you going, oh my God, like I can't believe I'm here.
What about you? Do you remember
I-
being selected? You were the year before then.
Yeah, so it was much the same. Worked my way all the way up through underage. I actually remember it was the night before the under 14 trials, and it was meant to be given a really bad day, and my mummy was like, "You're wearing leggings under them shorts." And I goes, "No, I'm not. No one ever wears leggings
That
under
sounds like
shorts."
me to my sons.
This is so embarrassing. And then she's like, "Well, you're not going." And I was like, "I am." And then she's like, "No, Sasha Byrne, you're not going unless you wear leggings." So then we obviously fell out and ended up wearing leggings then on Saturday. And yeah, just
after that, kind of never looked back, you know, worked the way all the way up, and then as Aoibhinn says, I was a year above, so then got drafted in, and then playing with the likes of Niamh Woods, looking up to them, you know, Shannon Quinn, Gemma Begley. I remember watching her on the TV, and obviously being a forward, just thinking like she is what I want to be like, you know. She was a great go-getter, great scorer. Then to be playing with the likes of them, and then competing and contesting yourself with balls against them, and it really drove you on, and it kind of really inspired you, and it kind of pushed you on. And as Aoibhinn says, Croke Park, that taste of it definitely pushed you on big time, for sure.
Yeah, give you the appetite to go further.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And what about being selected captain then? How did that come about for Tyrone, Aoibhinn?
I think I was actually the vice captain under Tori McLaughlin for a year. She was a captain, and then it was Sean O'Keegan asked me to be captain 3 years, a few years ago now. And I just remember, like, out of all things you're gonna say to me, I didn't think that
Wasn't on your radar?
No, you know, like they're tight teams to get on, so that's all you're really going and thinking about and trying to train and, you know, make it through some of the trainings because they're tough. Like, so when he asked me, I was quite surprised, but yeah, it's obviously, as Niamh says, like, it's an honour to be the captain.
It's a big responsibility. You have a lot of things to do, like if to go and represent in Croke Park or any of those events for TG4. It's the captain's going, so on top of your workload, playing for Aghyaran and playing for Tyrone.
Yeah, they're all like, they're nice things, you know, and like at the start I was definitely so nervous, you know, like being interviewed at all. Oh my god, I couldn't watch back. Now I can. Now I sort of can, but it was funny because I was at one of them, and one of the other girls, one of the other captains from a different county, like, she was like, you know what, you just get used to it. She was like, you just say the wrong things enough times and then you stop saying things. But no, it's all nice things. Like, it's lovely to be representing Tyrone and to have, like, to be busy.
No, it's a good reason to be busy, And then, like, you've led Tyrone out in Croke Park, you've led Tyrone out in Michael Dolan Memorial Park as well this year, so, like, it's a big responsibility, but something you've been able to shoulder with ease. But it looks like comes easy to you.
It was like the day in Aghyaran, we actually played really bad, to be honest. That was a really bad day, but
I wasn't going to mention the score or anything.
Aghyaran was so nice, you know, that was special, and like I was so aware that not everyone gets to do that, you know. It was rare. And I remember, like, bringing the girls up, we did band work, like activation work in the gym, and they were like, geez, this is some gym. I was like, we were proud. But like, you know, as Niamh said with Aghyaran, like in Tyrone, there's so many leaders. Like, any of them girls could be the captain, really. And the 2 vice captains this year were Chloe McCaffrey and Niamh Corrigan as well. So it's not just it's not just me. It's definitely a collective thing. I'm probably just the one that's lucky enough to be the captain. But there's lots of help, and obviously management and stuff as well, and the rest of the girls, and they're a really easy bunch to captain. Like, you don't, like, there's no,
they know what they're doing.
They don't need me. So it's a lovely thing.
And like, as amazing as this year was, if we went back a year, and like, you had not just one heartbreak with the All-Ireland intermediate final, but also the league, Division 2 league final as well. You lost both of those, so how difficult was coming back from that?
It was tough. Like, the league wasn't as bad because we still had the championship ahead of us, and it was like, that was the, you know, getting to actually, like, when we were in Croke Park before in 2017, 2018, I didn't play, so like, getting to play in Croke Park, like, you still had, you know, them things, and you had the whole championship ahead of you, and it was like, to be honest, we probably did better than people expected us to, and we were promoted to Division 1, but then, like, losing the All-Ireland final last year, like, it was really tough. It was hard, and I think it was like one, I never watched that game back because it was obviously so tight.
1 point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a point, and it was then, you know, when we were at, like, there was some other, like, there was an event on in Croke Park, and they were showing the clips, and they were literally showing, like, the girl missing, you know, Chloe missing, and then I remember, like,
God.
This is just put me watch, but it definitely, I think all the girls were really hurt, and sometimes you need, you know, you need a bit of that, and like,
Keeps
thankfully this year it worked out, like, and I'll probably never watch the game back still, but it was still, you know, it was just part of getting there this year.
So Mary Dolan saying, do you remember she comes second, like
6 times before she came
on?
on.
Give her the hunger to keep trying and keep getting there. So
I think it showed us that we weren't far away, you know, and like, there was more in us, and we knew that, like, so as a collective, like, when we came back then last year, like, everyone was just raring to go, like, we couldn't wait to get into the next season and to write that wrong, even though we knew like it's so tough getting to a final, getting through championship, like it's knockout, it's so hard, it's such a long way back, so there was nothing was for granted, you know. You could very easily go out and
Leitrim who beat you by a point, like for them, because it's the Mary Quinn Memorial Cup and she's a native of Leitrim, like it was something extra special motivation for them. But when it came down to 1 point at the end of the day, like it easily could have swung either way for you guys.
To be fair to Leitrim, we didn't play well in the final, you know, we really didn't. They probably deserved it more than us, to be honest, and it just like it was just the way it went, you know, for us. But I do think they ultimately did probably deserve it that day better, even though it didn't. It was no real help to us.
No, not
that day.
at the time, yeah, definitely not. But you's got to put things to right, and maybe playing Division 1 football then maybe helped you spur you on in the intermediate championship for this year. And you had some spectaculars, and I'll run through these games and the run that you went on. So at the group stage, you beat Westmeath 6-11 to 7 points. Aoibhinn, you got a goal and 2 points that day. Group stage then you beat Down 114 to 2-8, and didn't Down beat you earlier in the year then in Ulster, didn't they? So it was a bit of vengeance there, and there wasn't much in that game. Then the start of the extra times again. Maybe this is built a resilience. So there was the Fermanagh game, first of all, went the extra times, but finished 220 to 215. Sasha, you got 2 points that day. Again, just grit and steel just to get these over the line. And the same again in the semi-final, beating Westmeath 417 to 414 after extra time. Sasha, you got a point that day. And then getting to the final. So like what was the feeling like getting to that final again the year later?
We definitely made hard work of getting there, to be honest. Like a few of them extra times against Westmeath, we were definitely lucky to make it to extra time. You know, we were well behind that day. But like it's probably similar to Aghyaran, you know, like girls who just wouldn't give up, like, and like we're lucky, like we have some brilliant forwards in Tyrone as well, brilliant defenders as well, but like girls just stood up and they're getting goals and making chances when there's nothing, you know, you don't know how they're doing it, you know, the way, but it just is like determination and that refusal to give up. Like for Tyrone, luckily we actually, once we got to extra time, we actually seemed to do okay. Don't know if it's just because we're sort of used to it, but
stamina.
It was tough against Westmeath. The semi was really tough. It was really, really warm that day, but like thank God, like we did, you know. And then when we got to the final, we were anything but complacent going into that final, because we had so many, we could have been put out so many times, you know. But I do think it's one of them things that, like as I said, sometimes you have to make your own luck, you know, and you work and you press, and sometimes then goals seem to come out of nowhere, but it might just be, you know, the work you've been doing the whole time. But it probably didn't do us any harm going into the final, because we weren't complacent at all. Like we were, you know, we actually probably needed to play a bit better. The final was probably one of our better games all year.
Because I think by half time, like you probably could have been further ahead, like, but in the second half you just completely took off and it was different level.
Yeah, in the final, like I missed a goal and I think we missed a few other goal chances, and you were sort of thinking like, if we don't start scoring here soon, they're gonna punish us. Like I remember having them thoughts, but we were just like so focused. I'm sure Sasha will agree, like when we got to Croke Park that day, you know, like it was just like there was a switch, you know, like we were all there to do a job. Like the occasion didn't take us over anything, because we were just probably from losing and stuff the year before, like we were just like whatever it took type thing.
Get across the line.
Yeah, whatever it was, like if it was glamorous or not, we were just gonna get there. Like,
because I remember Sasha Gormley just been triple marked in that game, like, and I mean that's how good she was. She was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the other thing I was going to say, because I was recording at the end, because I knew the hooter was about to sound, and thought I'd capture this in video, and you scored the actual final point that day, didn't you?
Yeah, funny. Someone said to me, "Did you know, like you could have went for goal?" And I was like, "I was not missing." Just sticking it over the bar. I didn't need a goal, and I was like, "I'll just put this over the bar and get it away."
Score.
It was amazing, like just to be there and witness it. It was fantastic, and just to see the happiness on your faces that day, and you to come over to the other side where all the Aghyaran fans were and your family were, and there was a little city that was with you on the sideline. Oh, it was wonderful. Like,
it was classic. It's memories that, you know, like I remember at the time thinking like, I can't believe I can't believe we've won this. I can't believe we're here. And it's things like that, like the Aghyaran final, that you just didn't want to be over. Do you know, like if you'd let us onto that pitch all day with every child. Like, but this is just class. Like and all the photos, and Darrell had an Aghyaran flag, so we had the photo and stuff with that Aghyaran flag. So like just all them things that a lot of people will never get to play there, or never get to win All Ireland. So like the team, like we're really lucky that we got to be involved in it, you know, and have them memories with our families and stuff.
Spectacular.
Like a memory of sport, isn't it?
No,
It's so true.
forever.
Like that euphoric feeling, and
I think like Gaelic in particular, like it's what it does well is it's such a family thing.
Family
you know,
oriented,
like your granny and granda, like, and your cousins, and everybody's there, and like the whole of Aghyaran are there, and like that's class, because they're absolutely delighted for you too, you know. So it's a nice thing to share, like all your families and friends, and like all the girls. You were one of the first. All the Aghyaran girls were one of the first people I actually saw when I went up the steps. Like it was like all of them, and I was like, of course she's right here, you know. So it's just class memories.
Yeah, but they're the people like know the journeys that you've been on across County Tyrone, never mind across Ireland, like.
So lots of special memories, and like for me and Sasha, you know, to win it together was nice too, you know, because we had played every other year underage and stuff together, you know, like school football and Aghyaran and stuff. So that was, you know, that was really nice, and to have two people like representing Aghyaran.
Yeah, it's unreal. It is really.
Yeah.
As you say, starting outside Aghyaran gates, like not one of us wanting to go in. Like at a age maybe 5 and 6 maybe or whatever, like, you know, to then going to Croke Park, it is unbelievable.
And you probably, even though you may not think it right now, but you've definitely probably inspired another generation of ladies coming through.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like, you know, that's what you do, as we said earlier, like Gemma Begley and all Niamh Woods, like we were looking up to them, and I suppose you can only hope that there are young girls and boys out there that are getting inspired by the likes of all the teams being successful, like, you know, and you keep pushing on, and you want to be a good role model for everyone, and you want to do your bit, and you want to help out with the club and everything, like, you know, it's vitally important, you know.
Yeah, and to have like someone from Aghyaran be the first ever captain of a Tyrone team, lifting a trophy, like the speech you did that day, it was all phenomenal, like, and the picture, just unreal.
Yeah, no, they're lovely memories, like, and I think coming back down here, and you know, obviously that's the people that have coached you from your no age, and you know that you wouldn't be playing without, like, for me, like my granny bring me over to training and stuff, you know, so that, like all them things are nice, and it's like a full circle thing.
But I think of all the achievements that you've won probably in the last year, probably the biggest one we haven't mentioned yet, and that's the Dreenham Road Christmas Brownie Bake Off.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
The
what?
We had a competition last year. It was me and Chad took into making brownies, and we had a competition then last Christmas Day, you know, with all the desserts, and my brownies did. It was like, so we didn't tell everyone. Oh no, you know, you owned the brownies.
Okay.
So I'm a bit nervous for this year because
brownie again or a different dessert?
See, I'm starting with brownie only. You know, I don't have
They're not that advanced.
No,
I just laughed whenever I seen that in your little profile. I was like, that's brilliant. That's
to try them.
I know. Yeah.
They wouldn't touch Catherine's legs. Don't be expecting that.
Catherine's are hard to beat now.
So how does Tyrone training sessions compare to Aghyaran?
Your first one back in Aghyaran.
That first one back,
It was so hard.
Aoibhinn came over to me and was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I was down on my knees and I was like, Aoibhinn, I don't think I can do this either. And Donald Foy was shouting, would you get up to do it? And Byrne, I remember her coming over being like, it's easy compared to normal. And I just remember thinking, like, holy crap. You know, they were both tight. Like, it was, maybe it was all the drinking and celebrating.
That might have had something to do with it.
That might have been the problem, but no, Aghyaran's trainings were tight, like, and Tyrone's were just as hard too, like, you know, and the miles and that
It's
were
the travelling too,
too.
then, isn't it?
It was nice for us though, because like obviously with Tyrone, when you're in the latter stages in the championship, like our probably main focus was on Tyrone, and like the Aghyaran girls were training away, and like I've heard so much about, like, God love them. I remember thinking, thank God that we're not actually, like, I'm glad if a game was won. Then for us, like, when we came back, the girls were just flying, you know, like they were flying fit, like, and that was class for us, because you're like, you went from one high of Tyrone, you know, in that like championship ball, and then went straight back in the same thing, like with Aghyaran, and
Nice time.
it was just class, like, and that probably, it doesn't happen every year, unfortunately, like, I think this year, like, it was just, like, you didn't want the year to be over, you didn't want Aghyaran to end, you know, you just wanted to keep playing football and things were going well.
It's like a common cause and everybody was buying into it.
No breaks at all.
During Easter Sunday, not even off, we trained Easter Sunday morning. We were like, what, girl? Are you sure?
Should we play mine the Thursday? We won All Ireland the Sunday. We had a game.
Because I mean, at the throwing, the girls were like, even in Sasha's like, would they not take a lot of days off?
I may as well.
I was like, you were amazing there. you not think she took a wee few days off? I was like, no.
I don't think Donald even shouted at me at all that day because I think he knew. Like, there's no
Amy's here, but she's not.
She's not really here.
Who was
She
it?
must
Was
celebrate.
Clonel, was it?
Gorgon, mind.
Was it Gorgon? Was it?
Tough shift. Tough shift. Like, what's your like thoughts on like the development and the growth of the ladies? Because it seems to just keep taking off year after year, like getting bigger and bigger, especially media coverage.
Well, obviously, even like for us to have used to in the club, obviously, like just speaking about Aghyaran is obviously such a big thing. Even this year, like remember when you get flyers and stuff after, like you see all the wee girls being like, oh my god, like we hear them being like, oh my god, there's Aoibhinn. Yeah. You know, they just be looking like even up to both of these that like even for Aghyaran, that's such a drive for probably wee girls in our club to have used to, and even like for us to win the championship, like it kind of, you know, that's one thing that you would want your wee girls like just to keep playing football, you know, to keep encouraging them to come out and play, because just even the friendships that you make is the most important, like, and all the memories for life, and you know.
Well, that's it. It's just the memories that you have,
Uh-huh.
good and bad.
Definitely, but no, ladies football's growing in loads of ways.
Yeah, I think like as well, like for me and Sasha, do you know that there's a difference too from like how we're treated now as opposed to when we first started Tyrone, you know, like there's more ladies football's definitely the standards improving in terms of, do you know, like your food and your checking and all them things, like and,
Oh, good.
like there's probably ladies footballers who played years ago who probably couldn't believe what we're getting now, do you know what I mean? So it is like it's catching up, you know, and hopefully like integration will help that, because there's no reason why ladies and men's football can't you know, be equal on equal levels.
There still is a lot
Yeah.
to do,
go.
like, you know, and then I suppose with the likes of yourself buying in this year, like, you know, that definitely did create more of a buzz for us, because, you know, it wasn't just Aghyaran, it was you posting, and that was getting it out to your network, and then it was reaching people in work with me who are from Armagh, you know, when they were coming up to me then being like, oh, this page, like, oh, it's great. Like, it is like
Taking all the credit.
it takes everyone to buy into it, like, you know, 100%, and the media is like, it is.
Well, like, as I said to you, like, I got my eyes open when I went there. I was like, this is brilliant, this is fantastic, and like I had a great conversation with your mum that day. I had a real good time, and I kept going back. You just kept winning as well.
It would be great to see like the likes of like championship games being streamed, like, you know, the way buying them legally, not in fire stick.
Of course.
That would be a good step in the right direction, you know, too, for Tyrone ladies football. Like,
No, like, I enjoyed all. Like, you know me, Claire. Like, I enjoy putting together videos and things like that. So it was a privilege just to put all those little clips together and just put something.
but like,
You made
the
a few of
one
our
you-
girls cry.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were right
You
there.
were being like, I
You
just
had me
stopped
in
crying and
tears.
you posted that video.
It was like a
Yeah.
mixture of a hangover and the habit.
Yeah. Sent us over the edge.
No, that was an
championship
amazing
final.
video. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
It
that
was
was
something
really
there.
cool. 2
You
seconds.
know,
Yeah.
for sure.
But it's looking at it from that perspective, like when you're in it, sometimes you don't see it in that
Yeah.
way because
Yeah.
you're so in. But like
Or you're
looking at it,
critical of your
Aye.
goal. You
Yeah.
should have scored more.
Aye.
You know.
Yeah.
and you look at it from
No, but that shot,
Appreciate
that shot I have of all yous coming together with the
Yeah.
trophy, like, that was just beautiful.
love the
We're
video.
your ways.
No.
You weren't nearly knocked me out when I was playing headbutt.
I said that on the Tuesday. That's why I said I was like, I'm so sad that's over, because it's such a
That's
good night
the
in the
worst.
centre. It was such
Oh,
good crack.
yeah.
It's
The aftermath of depression.
Aye, like then I was like, that's it over now.
That's
Like
it,
I just couldn't
but
believe
that's
it.
what makes you so hungry, I think, for like wanting to do the double and wanting to do well, and
And
also
doing-
because you want more memories and more. You're hungry
Doing
for
it
more.
again
Then,
next
like once
year.
you want something, you just want more and more.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And you were unlucky in Ulster because he's really give it to them in the first half.
No.
And that other team, as I was saying to you, even I was chatting to some guy at the side, and he was saying like they have 3 teams, and they amalgamated into intermediate, so they had senior.
Final.
And then that team that beats them is in the
Is it
All-Ireland
all in
final.
the final? Yeah.
The Cavan team's in the All-Ireland.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a tight drive to
I know.
Monaghan.
Straight home.
I think we have covered this anyway. What would be your happiest memories?
Obviously, the championship this year was a special one.
Yeah.
For sure, but then I suppose the All-Ireland final was definitely a special one too, because Mummy, Daddy, Josh, Lorna, but not only that, my brother's 2 wee girls were there, you know, and I messed up and didn't get Rosa a jersey in time, but Orla was running around Croke Park with me on the pitch with a Byrne jersey on her on the back of the Tyrone jersey, you know, and there's a couple of photos, and it's definitely something that itches in my mind, because it's only something to tell her when she's a bit older, you know, and maybe she'll not believe the stuff, but there's photos there, you know, and it's just cherishing them kind of moments, I suppose.
Like, I would say probably not one that sticks out, but just probably my whole thing of playing for Aghyaran, like it's all been special to me, and like, getting to meet all like my best friends or all from Aghyaran, and just all those memories forever. Like even 2013 winning the double, like I was captain that day, like I was really young in that team, and then you'd have had 2017 was so special as well, because like that was kind of the same team but different. You had like Amy Coyle there, and Emma Lynch was playing, and you had loads of different gears, and then this year again, like I suppose just the whole thing looking back forever, like it's been just love playing for Aghyaran. It's been the start of, it could have been just one decision you might never have made, and it would have changed like, your whole life if you didn't play for them. So
And then to culminate being captain and winning the
I think,
championship.
like, it was a really special part this year, to be fair. To be captain was, you know, probably that wee bit more special for me, really. And we can't forget about Emma, that was vice captain actually. I was thinking of it. Poor Emma hurt herself in a friendly against Strabane, and she had to get her knee surgery, so but she kind of took up a few other roles. She was sorting a few other things, socials and things, so but hopefully she'll be back next year, because Emma was a big loss this year. You know, she was flying at the start of the year, so that was crap for her, but she'll be back hopefully next year. So she will.
What about you, Aoibhinn?
It would probably have to be this year. Like the All Ireland was special, and I think just for me, like I was going to see my family, you know, similar to Sasha, like because they've been, you know, they listen to me give out. Like they've listened through all the years. Like, they've listened to me give out, and like I think like for me, you know, Dad's coached me and stuff and things like that. That you're like it's not for them, but like my granny and granda, like God love them, every single game ever. Do you know they're at, and
So proud of you.
like Oisín and Ciara, my brother Oisín was there, and Fianna, my godchild, was only 2 weeks old. So she was down on the pitch, and Finn, my nephew, he was crying right now, but it was all different things. And then Aghyaran this year was just, I was just so, I think because we were young last time in 2017 when you won, like it was class, but this year when you're a wee bit older too, you're like, you know, you take it in a wee bit more, I think, because when we won 2017 you sort of thought like, oh, we'll win,
This
you
is
know,
the
we'll
way.
win,
I think
you know.
you'll win all the time then.
And then when you've been through a wee dip and a hard time, like, and then I'm just proud of the girls, because like we had a meeting at the start of this year, and we'd never said like we're gonna go out to win the championship. We'd sort of said like we want a team. Do you know, like we want a team in Aghyaran that trains regularly, has numbers and stuff, because we hadn't had that. Like the girls, we weren't buying in. I was just proud because as a team and as girls, we took a lot of like accountability ourselves. You know, we knew that we might have been messing about and not been training enough, so it was just mental that like you make a wee switch like that, everyone buys in, and next thing you've won the
She's
championship.
actually done
Like, you,
something.
like, we probably got more than we even
Thought we would.
aimed to get, which is just shows the talent, you know,
Yeah.
from the girls. So I think like when we won it this year, like it was just that, it was that part for me that like we sort of, Niamh and the rest of the girls, like we really, along with management obviously and Daryl, but like we had to go looking, you know, we asked Daryl to take us and stuff, you know, so it was quite like last year when we knew we
It
weren't
was
in a good
amongst
way.
yourselves that you
The
decided to
girls
do this.
stepped up, and then we wouldn't have done it without the management. Like they played a massive part, like, but I think it was knowing that we weren't going as well as we should have been. Like we weren't probably doing Aghyaran proud, and then trying to turn it around this year. So
And you did? Woohoo.
Yeah, because like chatting to Ronan McNamee, and he said like how special it was winning the All Ireland with Tyrone, but he would have loved to have won something with his club and teammates and his friends.
As Aoibhinn
How lucky we were.
says, we probably took it for granted, like, you know, like our underage teams were very successful, like, you know, with the likes of everyone back in and under 14s, under 16 minors, like we did win quite a lot. And then with the like of that 2013 team, like you got to the Ulster final, and I remember me and Amy were like, yeah, it's just a game. It's just a game.
Yeah.
But
You're so used to winning,
like
you see.
when you look back at it now, at like 14 and 15 playing in an Ulster final, representing Tyrone, but representing Aghyaran, it's absolutely crazy, like, you know. So
I suppose
then
age gives you
Yeah.
perspective.
yeah,
doesn't
it really
Yeah.
does, like, you know. And then it's funny then before the final this year, like hearing some of the younger girls saying that they were only wee toots, you know, when we last won in 2017, and I suppose in 2017, like we were only first year uni, me and Aoibhinn, like, and I suppose we thought we were old as
I know.
time, like, you know, and so cool, and like this is just part of it, and it does make it that bit more special, and it is memories to definitely cherish.
and Roisin Lynch played at half time.
Yeah.
And
That's
Cara,
right.
they played at half time of the 2017
That is
final.
right.
And they obviously-
Wow.
They played North.
Because when we were all talking and training about the final, you know, we were
Yeah.
going, God, we were so young, and then Roisin was like, I played half time. I was old then. But I suppose suppose that's what you want to happen in your
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
that's class. Like,
Well, on the flip side, like, what has been like the greatest challenges you've faced?
I think for me, I probably found it hard. Like coming up to Tyrone's class, like you're so glad to be there, but it was hard to. It's hard when you're probably in Aghyaran and stuff. Like you're playing, you're starting and stuff, and then when you come to Tyrone, you're having to fight for a place, and it's
Yeah.
like there's so many talented girls. That's probably throughout all the time playing. That's the time I found the hardest, to be honest. Like there was probably times, to be honest, where I thought like, oh, is this for me? Do you know what I mean? When you can't get on and you
Yeah.
think you're doing your best, like there's probably more on you, but you think yourself like. But like it all makes it, it all makes it worth it, and like you learn. And I suppose during them times, that's probably the most of the time where my parents really helped me, and they keeping you going and keeping encouraging you. And like we won with Aghyaran in that year too, so that's kept you going.
Developing resilience, just isn't it?
Yeah, but that's probably the time, and like you see it, like in loads of people, you see it in the club, you see it in Tyrone, like and you know how it's so tough. Like when you're not getting playing, you want to get playing. It's tough, like, but you just probably have to keep working at it, like, and I'm glad I did, obviously.
Yeah. What about Jeannie?
I would say probably like football wise challenges would be the years like things didn't always go well, and maybe you didn't have a manager, you didn't have loads of numbers, there was loads of times, it's just the way it wasn't anyone, it was just we didn't always have a big panel. And for years that we were like texting girls like, please can you come to a match, like trying to get numbers out to training, like it was you were going out and like thinking, putting as much effort in as if you were in a Division 1 team yourself, but then it was maybe just, it wasn't all collectively coming together. Do you know, and you probably kind of thought, oh, is this, even last year when I came home from Australia, like I was so excited to get back playing and everything, and then we, like as far as I was concerned, we played Cookstown the first round. Oh, we can beat them, no bother. We got hammered, and like I was like, oh my god.
You have a lot of work to do.
Just those wee things when you knew kind of after Cookstown last year, like we'd a lot of work to do probably that way, and just that was always hard, like to keep going. And like there was days, you both know, going to training there might have been 5 or 6 people, like it was like that for a lot of times, and maybe struggling to get managers and stuff, but it all came good this year, so it was all worth it then.
What about you, Sasha?
I suppose the girls kind of have nailed it on the head, even saying the step up going to county. I suppose one thing about county is there's always different managers, and obviously different managers see different things, and then you're trying to prove to yourself, trying to prove to them, but then you're also trying to prove to yourself, because there are times and it can be tough and you do doubt yourself quite a bit. And as Aoibhinn says, it's the likes of your parents that are picking you up off the floor, like sometimes when you are down, and then it is hard, like, and sometimes it can be very challenging, and it really does test you as a person. And I suppose it only does make you stronger, and it makes you realise like what you actually want and where you want to go, and it shapes you as a person for sure.
And sometimes we forget it's like voluntary, it's amateur sport, and
that's why I'm thinking like you with your working and travelling
It's
all
hard,
over the country,
like,
and then making training for not just one team, 2 teams.
Yeah, it's hard, like like you're sacrificing so
such a
much, you're
commitment.
missing
Yeah.
maybe birthday parties, weddings, things like that, you're sacrificing so much.
A lot of social
And then-
events, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of social events, sometimes people might think you're a bit odd by not going out and things, but like it is all worth it, like, and as you say, you're working a full-time job.
Yeah.
Most of us are up shortly after 6, like in the morning, and then you're going doing a day's work, and then you're going straight to maybe training. You're not getting home to 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and you're only getting your dinner maybe at that time. And I suppose then if you take into it like maybe other sports as well, like as I said, netball like is a big thing for me at the minute. So all them Strabane girls, keeping me on my
the
toes.
Strabanimals.
You play netball as well? Wow, so you're part of a team.
Yeah, down in Strabane, I'm not giving them any shout outs because I don't want to give them a big head. But no, like that's what it is. The likes of your family really buying in, like, they're trying to help you do as much as possible, and your friends as well. Like there are times that it is very challenging, and it's having them conversations with the likes of your friends and your family that then can help pick you up or maybe give you a shake, and kind of just you pull yourself together and you keep going, because at the end of the day it's what you want to do and it's what you love.
So true.
But you can only do it for a certain period of time, I'm sure there'll be years, maybe we'll all be looking back going, God, I wish we could go to training.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I wish
Even
we could
now,
be brought back. Like
we all saying like, oh God, I haven't seen you, well, I've seen, but you miss each other. Like, you
Yeah.
love, much it's hard. Like, I loved seeing the girls so often, and we chats at training, and you know, after, and if we're going out this weekend, who's planning where we're going. And, you know, it was always like,
McHugh in the red dress or black dress.
you know, that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the girls and the fun and the laughs. Like, no matter
Camaraderie.
how fed up you might have been before going, which loads of us always were, like, oh, and then you'd never not be laughing when you
Yeah,
come home,
yeah.
like, or smiling.
It's like a
You always
therapy
felt
session,
better.
really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
A good team
Three
spirit.
exercise and a good chat.
Oh, well, although I didn't want us chatting too much.
Get back to the running.
So, what advice would you tell your younger self now, knowing everything that you know and having trained, done all your work, and what would you
Go
say
back
to your
to
younger self to
Young Aoibhinn, young Sasha at the gates of Michael Dolan Memorial Park. What advice would you give yourself?
Don't speak to the keyboard.
Cut that out, I suppose, like, if you are to go back to that night, don't be scared, because if you could go back to then and see the journey that you've came on since then, when you were 5 and 6, or maybe even younger, like, you know, the memories that you have, the friends that you have, like, you know, like, they will be in your memory until the day you take your last breath, like, you know, and it might sound very cliche, but like, it really is something special. And I suppose maybe sometimes to not be a little bit stubborn when people are going to be giving you advice and things, because people do come at you sometimes with a lot of advice and opinions, and it's about being a sponge and taking it all in and seeing what works for you. Sometimes people might tell you things that might not actually work for you,
Yeah.
so then you don't take it on board, obviously. But if there
Yeah.
are things that work for you, you know, it's being open enough and being confident enough to go looking for them things and asking them questions and just taking it all on board and enjoying it, really.
Yeah, absorb the best out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a sponge, like my daddy always tells me.
It's good advice.
Yeah, sometimes.
Probably just even to me being younger, just to go and enjoy, like, how exciting, like, I know it sounds so small to some people that, oh, you just decided to play football, but you know, when we're talking about it now, and
Yeah.
like Aghyaran as a club and a whole, and when you really take, even now these few weeks not playing, I like, you reflect back and look and look at like how special sometimes we're even this year, and like even girls that aren't playing would be like, oh, I'd love to be playing, and like how grateful you were to be able to have that time, and it really makes you, you know, just if I could tell my younger self just to go and enjoy it, and don't worry, the boys weren't passing. Good Kieran's head a break. We said, "It's the Kieran passed to me." No, just enjoy it all and know that like it was like the best decision ever. Like football was, you know, opened my life up to so much and so many people, and
Yeah.
just to enjoy it all and not take it too serious.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. I'd probably say to remind myself maybe it's not the end of the world sometimes,
Yeah,
you know, because
yeah.
it does, like when you're from Aghyaran especially, like a lot of stuff revolves around football, and if
Yeah.
things aren't going well, you feel like there's not,
You've
like,
let
then
people
the
down.
word
You
and
can't
stuff.
escape.
But
And sometimes it's not, you just have to get on with it, you know, that I probably tell
life
myself,
still goes on.
and there'll be ups and downs, like, but
Yeah.
just to stick at it. I probably also tell myself to practice my left foot, because that would have came. I still. That's probably the first thing I'd say.
Practice
Use
your
one
left
foot.
Try shooting.
Well, who would you say has been the greatest influence on your life? Aoibhinn, we'll start with you maybe this time.
In terms of football, it's just probably my family. Like, it's probably been my dad mostly, but like, you know, my mum and my granny and granddad, as I said, like, all, I could not mention them, but like a lot of the stuff's probably came from my dad.
I would probably say my mum and dad as well, you know, and obviously I'd have to give Josh a wee shout out because he'd probably be raging at me.
Yeah.
They definitely, like, they would have travelled anywhere for you, like, you know, if you had a game down, we had many blitzes down in Donegal, like, you know, and they were always the first two that were in the car getting ready to go, and there might have been times when the weather might have been bad and
Yeah.
I was only maybe 8 years old and I didn't really want to go, but they were always there supporting, cheering you on, giving you feedback, listening to your problems, and then kind of talking you through everything. And I suppose Dad did always try and give a lot of advice, but went in one ear and went out the other ear. But no, we was, the both of them were fantastic support, and they still are, like, you know, with working and still do anything. Like I'm 27 now, and they have me spoiled still. Like, you know, I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like they're massive influences.
Brilliant.
I'd probably say my mum probably as well. Like I suppose obviously we were all children and you needed left of football and you left it, and we always like we never really lived close. Like I know it's not far, but you know always Castlereagh, and even now like we live that wee bit further out, and just I suppose caring enough about us to take us to football. Like you see some children maybe that you think, oh god, you could be going to football, or maybe like just mum wasn't probably, you know, working and everything she had to do and take us up the road. And I suppose even now she's always the person that you're giving out to about football, or you're you know, she has to listen to some stuff, but her taking an interest in being there, and you do, and can't forget about Ned either. Or even the likes of your like Colin, my brother, would have been probably my first like person who was mad about football in our house.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have been younger and going to all the matches together, and like Colin would have probably opened me up to football in that way. So like without them I probably would never maybe have got to play football. So yeah, very inspirational them too.
So then, if you could recommend a book, a TV show, or a movie, what would it be and why?
I would say Friends for a series, just because I do think no matter how bad a form you're in, if you put on a Friends, you will just laugh. Like I know it's sometimes so stupid and like, but you're just always gonna get a wee laugh out of it. So, you know, it's all in the background, it's just easy to watch it. Yeah. We laugh.
I've taken a notion of reading these days. Maybe it's because of all the lack of football and boredom. But any of the Harley Coben,
shows so good too.
Like he does obviously the shows and the books. So I've started reading away at the books and then watching the series. But
as good.
No,
the books are always brilliant.
He's fantastic. Like you know, and I've took a real interest in him. So any of his kind of books or series is really
I watched All Our Fault recently.
That's brilliant. The book is way better.
Is it a book?
And it's Andrea Marr.
Right.
That's it.
Well, I watched the series on.
But see all her books, brilliant.
Really
She's an Irish writer too.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. Now I'm a bit sad because you know what, shows
it's
like
over.
that when it's over and you're like,
I think she's Irish anyway. Don't go way off.
But I think that's the beauty of the books. They give you so much more than what the TV show would.
No, because I read that book first and then I was like, oh my god, I loved it. And then I was just like, I have to keep reading. And all of her books were brilliant. I read about 5 of them in a row.
Shows
so
really
good.
Yeah.
Well, our last question. Would you believe it?
Here.
Our final question of the night. What's your favourite thing about AghyNarnia?
I think it's like even ones like I've been chatting, I've heard loads of ones talking from different clubs, and even Nick Connor's ones down there saying like how good it is that like you have told so many stories that I would never have knew about our club, and it kind of makes you think like some stories would go like die with people that maybe never got to tell them, or like even like how our club started. Like I think it's unreal that that's there for everyone now to listen to. Do you know, and
including us.
I'll not be listening to it. But no, I think it's great. It's such a good thing just for your whole community and all the people that you're doing. I think it's
been a learning adventure for us at the same time. And even I had lost my uncle to dementia last year, and he was 60, but for 10 years before that, like all his stories and all his gone, like only what we remember. So like if I had got him on this, so that was kind of like the inspiration, and then AghyNarnia. I was like sitting here with Byrne on a sign last year saying AghyNarnia. I was like, I could do a podcast on this. And then that's got in touch with you again. I hadn't talked to you in years.
I know.
And
that's true.
But you were the first person I thought of. Like I was like, Claire Devine, easy. Need somebody to bounce off. So, but I'm glad to hear that kind of feedback. That's really special for us.
I think for us too, you know, like as footballers, like you need to be proud of where you come from. Like I think that's a massive thing, you know, like representing Aghyaran. Sometimes I think people forget about that, you know, or take it for granted. Like, and when you know what you've came from and all the stories and all the characters around Aghyaran, like that is the people you're you know, that's the people you're
absolutely
your sport, like you're representing. So I think like as a footballer especially, it's always good to be reminded like of that.
I suppose away from football, like Aghyaran is it is such an incredible small wee place. Like, you know, the people, yes, football's a massive thing, but like it's the people, it's the community, it's everyone being together and being for being there for one another, like whenever like things are tough, like, you know. And I suppose the podcast, it definitely has opened my eyes, like as Niamh said, like there's some stories that I never knew, and there's maybe a couple of people's names and faces that I probably don't really know, and it sparks that interest, because as Aoibhinn says, like you're representing Aghyaran at the end of the day, and like it makes you realise, like, God, this place is amazing, and the people in this small community are great. It is just somewhere to be very proud of. It's a credit to yourselves, really.
And there's such a history to it as well,
there's
like,
such a history.
that nobody really would think about when
no.
you're going out to a match for the day. You know, you don't think of where did it start, and who was the first people to put this together. And
Isn't the Division 1 men's trophy, the league trophy, named after
Brendan Dolan.
Brendan, I didn't know that.
I think I only seen that this year when was it and they said the cause. I was like, oh my god.
Because Aghyaran
Yeah.
probably have never won that. Do you know what
Not
I mean?
really.
Class, if they won that.
oh my
it'd be
God,
classic.
could you imagine the
Oh,
celebration
yeah.
with that one?
And as Owen Devine said, that period they had where like they beat all the top teams, but they just couldn't do it consistently because they didn't have the squad or the panel to get them across the line. Because what Brendan was like probably the first player from Aghyaran to play for Tyrone, and he was massive, like, and tragically died in that car crash, as we know, like. But yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, the trophy was named after him.
Maybe it'd be Niamh Gormley.
Just don't be dying.
Stay with us, Steve. Stay with us.
That's a wrap.
That's superb. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thanks to our amazing guests today, Niamh Gormley, Aoibhinn McHugh and Sasha Byrne. Thanks to Claire, my wonderful co-host, as always.
You're very welcome.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please join us again next time.
Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
Keep Going by Aghyaran Gael. Read to you by Caroline McHugh. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is funny with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about, which she might have won had she stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow, you may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering woman. Often the struggler has given up when she might have captured the victor's cup, and she learned too late when the night slipped down how close she was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you mustn't quit.
Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
Well, folks, first up we have our youngest singer yet, one of the most imaginative minds that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, a very special talent all the way from Magheralin, a future star of the County Down, no doubt. She was there in Croke Park that day to see a triumphant Aoibhinn McHugh lift the All-Ireland for Tyrone Ladies, and we're very glad that she's here with us tonight. Please give it up for the delightful, the magical, the wonderful Erin Monaghan. Enjoy.
In Dublin's first city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, and she wheeled her wheelbarrow, where streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure was no wonder, and so was her father and mother before, and they both wheeled their barrows where streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, crying cockles and my soul alive. Oh, she died of a fever and no one could save her. And that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. But her ghost wheeled her barrow where streets broad and narrow. Crying cockles and my soul's alive, oh. Alive, oh. Alive, oh. Crying cockles and my soul's alive, oh.
Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
Well, how about that? She's only 7 years old. Thank you again, Erin Monaghan. What a talent. Next up tonight, we have the beautiful melodies of the low D whistle and the tin whistle. A fantastic young lady who is currently undertaking her A-levels at Loreto in Omagh, and an excellent musician on top of all that. She coincidentally shares the same name as our Tyrone captain, so please give it up for the exceptional Aoibhinn McHugh. Enjoy.
Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much to Aoibhinn McHugh and the low D whistle and the tin whistle. Beautiful. Well, folks, we have one more special treat in store for y'all tonight. Now, let me give a little bit of background story here before we introduce them. A good friend and colleague of mine's, Catherine Hyland, she'd love a wee name drop, sent me a song and said this would be great for the AghyNarnia podcast. She was bang on the money. A beautiful song by We Are the Messengers that resonates with the heart of anyone from Tyrone, especially AghyNarnia. As soon as I heard it, I instantly thought of one person. I got in touch with them, and I'm so glad that they agreed to do this song, to learn it and play it for us all tonight. Please give it up for the rising Irish country singing sensation. That is the amazing Jamie Donnelly. Enjoy.
There's a light that's guiding me when the stars come out over islands green. This is where I live in peace, where I feel I'm known, yeah, it's all I need. We might all be dust and bones, it's temporary, yeah, I know, but everybody needs a home, and mine is in the hills of Tyrone. Thank God I've got a place to go, across the mountain country roads. Yeah, everybody needs a home, and mine is in the hills of Tyrone. I can hear you all be dust and bones. It's temporary, I know, but everybody needs a home, and mine is in the hills of Tyrone. Thank God I've got a place to go across the mountain country roads. Yeah, everybody needs a home, and mine is in the hills of Tyrone. At the closing of the light, there's a masterpiece painted on the sky. I know when I'm lost at sea, I can lift my eyes. Your love will rescue me. We might all be dust and bones. It's temporary, yeah, I know, but everybody needs a home, and mine is in the hills of Tyrone. Thank God I've got a place to go across the mountain country roads. Yeah, everybody needs a home, and mine is in the hills of Tyrone.
To Aghyaran and beyond.
The Chronicles of AghyNarnia. The Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
Some Women by James Mooney. Read to you by Sir Bruce Wayne McHugh. Some women are made of steel, stones, tears, dust, bones, and scars. Others are made of books, music, rainfall, stardust, moonlight, flowers, daydreams, and wild adventures. The rare ones are made of both.